nets. We check in one station at a time. Let's start this morning's net with our short-time mobile and handheld check-ins. Please call now.
Net control. Net control, this is N3FNN Andy.
Good morning, Andy. How are you?
I am doing just wonderful. Looking at the weather, it looks like it's going to be a good day to do some work outside and see, maybe clean the boat, get the pool heater going, and maybe take a swim.
Very nice. And Andy, can I ask you a quick favor? I was just grabbing my pen. Can I get your call sign again?
Absolutely. It's November 3, Foxtrot, November.
That's what I had. It's been a good morning. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it. What else you got going on besides the boat? Anything? It's supposed to be looks like a great weekend.
No, I think that's it. We went to the Big Cat, sanctuary yesterday. That was kind of a pretty neat experience. And we went with some friends that are down from Ohio. And good time, I think, was had by everybody. And so we've been keeping a little busy doing some touristy stuff.
Yeah, we may be doing that a little bit this week also. Whereabouts is that?
It's in Sarasota, not too far off of Bay B Road.
Ah, fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, we got, hopefully we're not sure if they're staying over, but we may have them for a day, so it's always good to try and find something. Most of the people we have come down, they kind of give us a look when we mention the military museum, but when they walk out, they're amazed at what's in there, so that's usually a definite stop for us.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. But that's about it going on today. So with that, I'll say 7-3s. Have a good day. This is N3FNN. I'll be clear.
Great, Andy. 73. And thanks for stopping in. Hopefully we'll catch you next Saturday. Have a great weekend. This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie, Oscar. Looking for my next check-in, next short time, mobile or handheld. Any other short time, mobile or handheld check-ins for the Saturday net? Okay, hearing no other short-time mobile or handhelds, looking for anyone, anywhere to the Saturday Sunshine Net. Come now.
Net control. Net control, please check in. Kilo, November 4, Juliet, Echo November, KM4JEN, Allen, on the banks of the beautiful Myakka River. Over.
Good morning, Alan. How are you, sir?
Oh, I've had better days. This morning it was time to rearrange my weekly set of pills in all their little pockets. And after I got it all done and walking back to the bedroom where I keep them, I managed to drop them and spill them all over the floor. So down on my hands and knees, picking them all up, putting them in a little jar. And now, after the net, I've got to go in and sort them all out by size, color, and shape, and then figure out which ones are which and put them back in that container that I dropped over.
Hey, been there, done that. Nothing like dropping a 90-day supply after you open the container.
Yeah, well, it's one thing, I guess, if they're all the same. You pick them up, put them back in the bottle, but these are big ones, little ones, blue ones, pink ones, yellow ones, white ones, square ones, oval shape, tiny ones, big ones, and it's going to be a mess. I might as well sit down and do a jigsaw puzzle over.
Well, I was going to say, it's It's like shattering your Rubik's Cube. It's tough getting old.
Ain't that the truth? Anyway, there's a gun show up in Englewood today that I might go to. I don't know. I probably shouldn't because it's going to be a $10 entry fee, and I know there's nothing in there that I want. So what's the point? And but it's a beautiful day. I see blue sky, puffy clouds, a couple of boats out on the water. Road noise isn't too bad, and otherwise it's a great day. Over.
That's absolutely right. And you'll get that tow thing sorted out and move on with the weekend.
Hey, roger that. Anyway, thanks for taking the net. Thought I'd fill in that dead air space that always follows first thing in the morning. Give you a couple of minutes to shake the sleepers out of people's eyes, get them out here on the radio. Keep in mind tomorrow, or tonight I should say, we set all our clocks back. Spring them ahead, I should say. We lose an hour's sleep. So getting up tomorrow to do the Sunday net's going to be a chore for me, but I'm sure we'll make it. And if not, somebody will rattle my cage. Over.
Yeah, absolutely. That's never a good thing. And like you said, it's early enough, and then you got to get up an hour earlier. So, well, I'm sure you'll get your people for the net, as you do a great job, and look forward to hearing you tomorrow morning.
Very good, Matt. Thanks for taking the net, doing a great job. Bravo Zulu in that regard, and 7-3 to all the Sunshiners. This is KM4JEN. We're clear and listening.
73, Alan. Good luck with that puzzle, and we'll talk to you again soon. This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for any further check-ins.
Winning from K8H2O.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
The old-timers went out this time. Anyway, another week. Where is it tomorrow that it changes? I guess it's tomorrow it changes. Okay. Still puzzling. Back to that K8H2O.
Always a pleasure hearing you, Steve. You're a little scratchy this morning, but you're readable. Yep, tomorrow. Remember, I like how they say 2 a.m. because there's very few of us that are up at 2 a.m. I might be one of them, but, just remember to change those clocks. It's a tough start in the morning when you're already behind. We'll say 73 to Steve, and look for my next check-in.
November 03, Papa, NB3P.
Okay, got N3, then I got walked over by our repeater signal. Can you go one more time?
November Bravo 3, Papa, NB3P.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I missed the NB. I missed the B in there.
That's okay. Good morning, all. Name is Jim, down here in Englewood at the Buchanan Airfield annual fly-in. Just watching the airplanes come in.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's a good start to the day.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Used to fly myself, but haven't in a number of years. But haven't been to this since before COVID, so it's kind of a nice thing to see again.
Oh, absolutely. I apologize for that delay, Jim. I was putting you on my log. You're a first-timer for me on Saturday morning. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I just keep the rig in the car, so if I happen to be in here at the time, in the morning, try to check in. I think it's only my second time, though.
Well, fantastic. I love adding new names to my, new call signs and names to my log. So, welcome, and always welcome. You know, we're here every day, Monday through Sunday, 8:30 to 8:30 to whenever it ends.
Okay, well, thank you. It's a pleasure to check in. 7-3s, and we'll be listening. NB3P.
Thanks for the check-in, Jim. Look forward to hearing from you again. Have a great weekend, whatever it brings your way. This is W1MCO, looking for my next check-in on the Sunshine Net.
NC4CC.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Matt. And it is a good morning. The sun's out. It's a little chilly, but it'll work. It's supposed to be up around 80, I guess. Got down to 43 here last night, so not quite as cool as yesterday, but it's acceptable. There's nothing white on the ground.
Ain't that the truth? Absolutely. I was talking to my buddy up north yesterday, and he's getting ready for golf. And I said, you've lived there your whole life. You know there's a storm coming sometime in March. So I wouldn't pull those clubs out yet.
Yeah, summer really doesn't start up north until maybe sometime in May if you're lucky.
Yeah, I was watching one of the spring training games yesterday night, and it was a reminder they were showing opening day in New York from 1996, and it was snowing. So, yeah, they should know better, but I guess it's just hopeful thinking for them.
Yeah, you got to keep that positive outlook, even though you can look out the window and see snow on the ground. You got to think, well, tomorrow it could be a much better day.
Yeah, and Mother Nature seems to have her way. I think she likes to just give you that little bit of hope and optimism, and then all of a sudden she hits you like March 31st or April 1st.
Yeah, one of my instances with that is way back when in Ohio they decided that you needed a special license to ride a motorcycle. So I made an appointment, and I think it was towards, sometime in April, I guess. But anyway, the days have been pretty good. They were in the 70s, so I figured, well, I'll go ahead and make an appointment and ride over and take the test, and, everything will be fine. Well, the day I went to take the test, the temperature was 25 degrees, and I had to go about 15 miles on that motorcycle. And I'll tell you what, that was the coldest 15 miles I've ever ridden.
See, I don't feel so bad now. I did the same thing. I had to get over to our motor vehicles, and it was February, so I knew it was going to be cold, but still, an appointment's an appointment with motor vehicles when you're in Connecticut. And, it was a tough ride. And then to get there and have an inspector who doesn't know anything about motorcycles fail you on something she shouldn't have failed you on, so you get the ride home and then come back in a week and hopefully get it done that time.
Yeah, that would be aggravating. I did okay on the test. Some people had trouble. One of the stop signs that you had to stop at on their little course, you had to sit there without putting your feet on the ground for 3 seconds. And there were people that couldn't do that. But 3 seconds seems like it might be a short time. But if you're trying to balance a motorcycle without putting your feet down, that can be a long time.
Oh, absolutely. That's an eternity when you're trying to keep that thing upright. When it's going to go, and you're not going to do much to stop it.
Yeah, that's true. And, I was sort of surprised that they even had something like that in the test. I mean, I was of the habit of coming to a halt and immediately putting a foot down. And, I didn't even know that I could balance it for more than 3 seconds. And I held it up there for about 5 seconds, and then the guy waved me on. And, I was a little worried, but it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, that's kind of an oddball. That's not real world. That I think is just motor vehicles being motor vehicles. The one we had in Connecticut had a stop sign in the middle of the parking lot, and they used to fail people because you almost couldn't see it. But if you drove through it, you were done before you even left the parking lot.
Yeah, this was in a parking lot also, and they had cones and all sorts of stuff and signs, and I guess don't remember a whole lot about it. That's been a bunch of years ago. Probably close to 50 years ago now, I guess.
Yeah, I still don't understand that part of the test. Like you said, you watch anybody at a stop sign or a stoplight on a motorcycle, and the first thing down is the foot, because no one is going to sit there and balance their bike.
Yeah, I still see some people, though, that they'll be creeping along, and they'll have both feet just a couple inches above the ground. Just, I guess they're not very confident that they can stop the bike and hold it up with just one foot. But you can tell a new driver on a motorcycle when he comes up to a light and stops and puts both feet down.
Yeah, like you said, I could understand if that test was, give me slow speed and keep the bike balanced. That's part of the class you take. But full stop is a different story. That foot's coming down on a full stop.
Anyway, I guess we beat that topic to death. So not a whole lot going on here today. So don't know what I'll be doing. But I'm sure it'll be better than doing nothing. Or maybe I should do nothing. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll either do nothing or do something. How about that for a plan?
Well, either way, there's no disappointment. Either way, it's a win.
That's something that always amazed me about some people. I have no anticipation of what's going to happen today. And if something happens that's good, that's great. If nothing happens, that's also great. But if something bad happens, well, that's just the way things go. Nothing to get upset about.
No, we've all been around long enough to know that, the best laid plans.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing that you don't want to do because it involves time and aggravation, and that's drop a box full of pills.
If I get a recheck from him, I'm sending him right to you.
Oh, I can laugh about it because I've done that before. I think the most I've ever done was a week at a time. But the device I've got right now has a whole month on it. But each one of the containers has a latch on it. So even if I drop it, it's unlikely that all of them would unlatch and distribute pills all over the place. So I cured that problem after the first instance. Anyway, I'll go ahead and say 7-3 to everyone out there. Hope everyone has a nice day, and thanks for taking the net this morning, Matt. It's much appreciated. This is NC4CC.
73 Dave, and whether you do something or nothing, have a great weekend, and we'll talk again soon. This is W1MCO, looking for my next check-in.
Control. K4ZZ.
All right, hold on 1 second, Buzz. I think there might have been a double. Did somebody else try to sign in with Buzz?
Alpha Charlie 2 Golf Delta, I'll stand by.
Okay, great. Go ahead, Buzz.
Hey, I love that stories about the motorcycle licenses. I've never taken a test for my motorcycle endorsement. When the first changed the law, all you did was walk in, give them $10, and they put it on your license.
Well, the funny thing is, when we moved down here, I had the endorsement from Connecticut, and she's like, "Do you want to put it on your license here?" I was like, I don't know. She goes, "Put it on your license because they may change the law, and you'd have to take the entire test all over again." So I said, "Put it on the license."
Oh yeah, say well, I still carry my CDL just because if I wanted to use it for something, I didn't have it, I'd have to go through everything again.
Yeah, that was the scariest part about when we got down here, is just going through everything over again. Thankfully, you know, none of the driving tests, etc. But what made me laugh was people's, you know, it's everything's subjective. There was a gentleman in front of us who was complaining because he had a 40-minute wait so far, and me and my wife were like, in Connecticut, you take a day off from work to get your license renewed. So 40 minutes is just getting in the parking lot up there.
Yep. I've never actually waited too long. I went in and the place is completely packed, and I just leave and come back another time. But I hate waiting in crowds. So I always thought I want to go to Comcast and get a number and wait about a half hour and then sell the number to the highest bidder.
You could probably make some good money on that.
Yep. Another one I think of is rainy season. Get a big umbrella and go to Walmart. Tell these little old ladies for $1, I'll walk you to your car.
You'd be rich.
Anyhow, no fishing story this week. Didn't get a chance to go out but once. And the first cast, I got a decent hit. Didn't get it, and never got another hit.
Well, hopefully now we're done with this cold weather. We need to move forward here. Got to get that water warm.
I can see where they started making beds, and then they abandoned it because the water chilled back off. So we may not get a good bed season this year.
Yeah, the weatherman the other day said that this is probably the last of the cold weather, but still, it's still a little bit too late for my liking.
Well, it's better than being 2 states north.
Oh, absolutely. And to be honest with you, I took advantage of it. I had a little bit of cold smoking to do, so in Florida, you do what you got to do, and I pulled out the smoker and took care of the things I had to do while the weather was cold.
Since I moved into the apartment, can't really do the smoker until I got a good-sized dehydrator, and I make my jerky with it.
Yeah, I picked up a good dehydrator finally when we got down here, but with the cold smoker, I usually get my few pounds of different cheeses done and kind of dabbling in bacon right now, so that one's tucked away now, and we'll pull out the normal smoker for the rest of the year.
All righty. Well, I'm going to try drying out some pineapple with my dehydrator. I went to get some at the health food store the other day, and it's $9.99 a pound.
Oh, Lord. I had the wife pick up some apples the other day and ran them through there, and those are always good to have in the pantry. And took care of some grapes, too. Made some nice big raisins.
I never thought about doing that. I'll have to try that one, too.
Yeah, surprisingly, obviously they're almost all water, but they took about 36 hours. But there's some good-sized raisins, and they have some good flavor.
Yeah, they'd be a juicy one, too, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you get a chance, give it a try. The only thing they recommended, and I tried it, and it worked well, was you crack the skin a little bit by dumping them in boiling water for about a minute, and then right to cold water, and then right onto the dehydrator.
All right. Yep, I'm gonna give that a shot. When I go to the store, I'm gonna pick some up. But the only thing I really do with grapes is seedless green grapes. Keep them in the freezer. When you get that thirst that you just can't seem to satisfy, you eat a few of those because they don't get hard. They just get real mushy, and that satisfies a thirst real quick.
Oh, absolutely. And the other thing I found out with the apples are certain apples, because they want you to soak them in lemon juice so you don't brown them. But those cosmics, they stay yellow. They don't brown up at all. I've cut those and right to the dehydrator, and 6 hours later they're nice and dehydrated.
All right. Well, now you give me some good ideas there. I'm gonna try it out. Some of my free time.
Good for you. Free time. How's that feel?
I don't get very much of it. I had nothing at all planned today, and my daughter's in town. They've been out a year and a half on the road in a Class A motorhome, and now they're staying right up the road here on Kings Highway for 2 weeks, and then they're going back out on the road. So she called and says, 11:30, Carrabba's, we're having lunch. I go, okay.
Well, at least your day is set now. You know you're having lunch.
Yep. So, all righty. Well, that guy's patiently, or maybe not impatiently, standing by, so let him get in there.
All right, Buzz. Always a pleasure. Look forward to hearing from you next Saturday, and have a great week ahead. This is Whiskey 1 Mike Charlie Oscar. That other call sign, I got part of it. It started with Alpha. Can I get the rest of it?
Name here is Tim, Tango, India, Mike, and the call sign is Alpha Charlie 2, Golf, Delta.
Thank you, Tim. I had your G and your 2 switched, and I knew that didn't make sense.
I'm just sitting out on my balcony enjoying the chilly weather. Got nothing on the agenda. Waiting for my grandsons to visit later on, and just enjoying life. Heard you guys talking about licenses and all that. I did get my CDL. I kept it when I came down here, but I did let my hazmat go. It costs too much to keep it endorsed. Not that I drive anymore, but I do have the license.
Yeah, I had my CDL up north and got rid of it when I got down here. I laughed in Connecticut when they switched from the Class 2, and probably every state did it. They grandfathered you in, and you didn't have to do any driving tests to go from Class 2 to CDL, so you could get any endorsement you wanted. So I had friends of mine walking out there with tandems and hazmats and everything, and the state just let everything fly through as long as you passed the written test.
Yeah, I'm from Long Island, and it was kind of the same thing there, but I did have to take the road test. But it was a piece of cake. Anyway, I don't have a lot to say right now. I'm getting short of throat. Just want to say hello. Been off the air a lot. So thank you for checking me in, and 73 to 1 and all. Alpha Charlie 2, Golf, Delta, clear.
73, Tim, and I noticed you're also a first-timer on, at least on my net on Saturday, and you're always welcome, 8:30 to whenever it ends. So don't be a stranger. Feel free to stop in any time.
That's very good. Thank you very much. Base 2GD, clear.
Give Tim a 73, and this is Whiskey 1 Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for my next check-in on the 9 o'clock hour. Next check-in, please.
Net control. K0NLF.
Good morning, Norm. How are you?
Oh, I'm out here mobiling a little bit, and but I'm stopped now. And the weather is just about perfect. No problems at all. So I'm really enjoying it. Over.
Yeah, can't argue about today's weather at all. This is a great day. It's going to be a great start to hopefully a great weekend of weather. I had to ask, did you Did you do any work on that spider beam?
Yeah, I did, and got it up a little bit higher. Got the 2 fans hung. Now I'm going to order some more curved molding.
Gotcha. Okay. To show you how well that thing stays up, once it's kind of roughed up a little bit, is mine didn't move during these winds from the other day. So once it gets itself locked in place and it settles in, it stays.
Well, it seems to so far. I've got it up another, I'd say about 8 or 9 feet, and I'm hoping it stays up about that high, because if it gets up much higher, I don't know if it'll handle any good wind.
Well, like I said, mine's at 12 meters, so it's roughly 40 feet, and it's fully extended, and it doesn't move. It looks, you worry about it. I know I worried about it when I first got it, because that thing definitely sways in the wind, but it doesn't come down. I honestly can't remember, knock on wood, the last time I even dropped one of the sections. So once you get it settled up and you get it to the height you want, it should be fine.
Oh, that's good news, because I was kind of worried about it, because it gets pretty thin up there at the top.
Yes, it does, and like I said, the worst thing you can do is watch it in the wind, because you swear that thing's going to come down, but it doesn't. It's locked in good, and I can attest to that.
Well, I'm about to my destination, so I'll say this is K0NLF, off to the side and listening. And thank you, Matt, for taking the net. You're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks, Norm, and 73 to you, and have a great weekend, whatever comes your way. Enjoy that weather, and don't forget the clock changes, everybody. This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for more check-ins as we pass the 9 o'clock hour.
Net control. Whiskey 3, Golf Foxtrot. Good morning, Sunshiners, and good morning, neighbor Matt.
Good morning, Craig. And the nice thing like you is I don't have to ask you what the weather's like where you are.
That's right. Well, it is a beautiful day here in Deep Creek. A little cool, but warming up. It's showing 60 out on the Lanai right now. And 77 indoors, so that's not bad. So anyway, nothing special going on here today. Just going to play with the radio a bit, take care of a few other little chores, and I'm happy to say that everything is working well. I did have one kind of humorous thing yesterday. All of a sudden, I couldn't get FT8 to work. The screen came up, but I couldn't change frequencies with the program, and I was really scratching my head. So just on a whim, I looked up top to see what mode I was actually in, and well, I wasn't in FT8 mode. So as soon as I clicked on that, it was working fine. But I think I just accidentally was sweeping the mouse around and accidentally clicked on something else. Anyway, the vagaries of ham radio in the digital age.
Yes, sir. And I have to ask, did your encounter with your landscaper go well?
Well, yes, I think I got them to admit that it was due to the stuff they put on. We had it replaced just before Ian, actually. Ripped everything all out and put a hybrid St. Augustine grass that was developed by Scots called Pro Vista. And it is resistant to Roundup. So if you get spot weeds in your lawn, you can hit it with Roundup and it doesn't hurt the grass, which is something they've been looking for years with St. Augustine. Anyway, they came in and they sprayed it with atrazine. And I think it got a little hot that day, and I think the atrazine actually burnt the grass. So they're coming back, and they're going to refertilize, put some different stuff on there, and hopefully give the grass a kick. So there's the long tail.
Well, at least they admitted to it. I had kind of the same situation up north, and part of my lawn, the whole side of my yard was dying, and I actually spoke to one of the golf course greenkeepers, and he knew exactly what it was. He said that one of the fertilizer companies had a problem, and it was doing exactly what he said it was doing, and these landscapers refused to take any responsibility, so they basically got thrown off the yard right then and there. You know, I don't mind mistakes, but at least admit to them.
Yeah, roger that. This was truly Nolan, actually. I've got a separate guy that does my landscaping and lawn, and he came in and he knocked on the door. He was coming around to cut it last week, and he knocked on the door and says, "What the hell happened to your lawn?" I said, "I think it was something that they put on because it was very sudden and very shortly after the application." But anyway, what was unnerving was their tech guy came out, and I said, "Are you familiar with Scott's Pro Vista?" And he said, no, I don't. I said, "Well, maybe you want to brush up on that because it was specifically designed to stand up to Roundup, and it may not do well with atrazine, particularly if the weather is too hot." So anyway, we'll see what happens, and then I'll decide whether we're going to keep them or not.
Yeah, my guys decided to blame it on grubs, and you should have saw his face when I told him that I spoke to a greenskeeper and actually he works at the TPC in Cromwell, where they have where they play the Travelers Open for the PGA, and I think he realized he was in trouble at that point.
Yeah, well, at least we got some satisfaction, and we'll see how it goes from here, and then if things come around and they do okay, we'll keep them on for a bit longer, but I'm not sure exactly what direction we're going to go with that. Anyway, I've yacked on long enough here. Let's see if there's Cutter on FT8, 17 meters. I'll see if I can maybe catch up with him. 7-3 for now, Matt. Doing a great job with the net, like Saturday mornings a lot. So have a good one. W3GF. Clever listening.
All right, 73 to Craig. That is, for those of you who don't know, that's our voice of Fridays, the Feel Good Friday Sunshine Net at 8:30. So definitely stop in and talk to Craig in the morning on Fridays. He'll get you smiling. This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, saying 73 to Craig. I'm looking for my next check-in. Next check-in, please.
Control. Net Control, please check in Kilo Quebec 4 Zulu Oscar Papa, KQ4 ZOP, Mike in Port Charlotte.
Good morning, Mike. How are you? You sound much better than last Saturday.
Yep, so far so good. Nice sunny day, temperature's starting to warm up. Looks like we're going to have a very nice one today.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I think it's going to be a good day. It's nothing like starting in Florida mornings a little cool and crisp. It gets the day moving.
Oh, that's very true. It makes you appreciate your morning coffee a little more.
Yeah, if it wasn't for some of the noise outside, I actually thought about just abandoning the shack this morning and taking my show on location out to the Lanai with a handheld, but there was just a little too much noise out there.
Oh, we've had a lot of Limkins already sounding off this morning really loud, so I understand that noise issue.
Yeah, I don't mind the natural noises. I think everybody would appreciate that, but it's the man-made noises that were just bad this morning. It's funny, you don't really notice them with the better windows down here. You don't notice it till you kind of open the door, and you realize that it's probably not going to be a good idea going outside with the radio.
Yeah, that's one of the things, actually, the XYL and I are pretty lucky with where we're located, that we don't catch a huge amount of man-made noise, but there are times whenever we're about 4 blocks off of Midway, and there are times we hear, just racing up through there.
Yeah, we get that off of Kings Highway. I'm not sure if they've abandoned the work. Lake Susie was doing a big expansion almost behind some of the houses on the end of our cul-de-sac. And they were working all last year, and, it was just, construction all day long. And we haven't heard them in ages, so I don't know if they've abandoned that for now or not. But, no complaints from us if they have.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything pertaining to that for a while. You're right. I don't know, whether they have or not. So who knows? They may just have a delay going on right now. You know how sometimes just the permitting kind of slows things down.
Yeah, we noticed that they're staking out, and I guess they're going to try and jam in apartment buildings on Sand Hill, the sharp curve there by. I think it's Tire King or whichever it is, heading towards Racetrack. So that should be interesting for traffic.
Oh, definitely. Well, not really much else to report this morning. I'm going to go back to savoring my coffee. It's KQ4ZOP, 7-3 to all the Sunshiners. Thanks for taking thanks for taking the net, Matt. Doing a great job. I will be monitoring. Over to you.
Thanks, Mike. And like I said, you sound much better this Saturday than last Saturday after that little bit of surgery you had. So hope you're on the mend and you're moving forward. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon. This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for my next check-in.
Net control. Net control, please check in Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Tango Quebec KO4ETQ. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Sunshiners.
Good morning, Rick. I was just going to start my announcements, and you came in, so that's great. How are you, sir?
Very good this morning. Was up earlier, but yeah, we're going to start watching the Connecticut Huskies basketball NCAA tournament. I guess starts today. I haven't been a watcher of the season, but the playoffs are here, March Madness. So I don't know. Are you involved in that at all?
I'm not as avid as I was a while back. It's just if I catch a game, great. I don't watch it like I used to.
Either do I, but I enjoy good tournament games. Yeah, yesterday I was heading south on 75, and there was a fella come up behind me, and it wasn't a real motorcycle. It was like almost like a scooter. And then he shifted right onto in the left-hand lane, about 10 feet away from a car going about 70 miles an hour, sort of like a teenager with very little protection. I shudder when I see that.
Yeah, some of these guys, it's interesting. I had to go into Punta Gorda yesterday, and I had a guy who refused to let me switch lanes, got in front of me, and then when the light turned green, he basically cut off two right turn lanes to go where he wanted to go. So sometimes it's just best to let him get out of your way.
Roger that. I used to have a motorcycle in my youth, but I wouldn't drive one around here. It's just to me, there's just too much crazy traffic.
Absolutely, and yeah, I watch some of these guys, and yes, sometimes it's the motorcyclist's fault, but most of the time, or a lot of times, it's the car's fault also. So yeah, there's just too much traffic, too much noise and activity around here.
Roger that. And the cars don't see motorcycles, and if you're ever on a motorcycle, you know that. But at any rate, everything's good up here in Northport. I hope to be in contact with you this week and stop over and pick up my hitch. I'm ready. So with that, I want to say thank you very much for taking the net, and I'll talk with you later, Matt. And have a great day. Sunshiners as well. KO4ETQ73.
73 Rick, and yep, give me a call. We'll or text, whatever you want to get in hold of me with, and we'll definitely get that over to you. You know, if you keep it here any longer, I'll have to charge you a restocking fee.
Roger that.
It might cost you a couple of extra Anderson clips attached.
Roger that.
All right, Rick, 73, have a great weekend. We'll talk soon. This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for my next check-in. Okay, we'll take advantage of this lull here in the activity and get some events in. On March 13th at 7 p.m. will be our monthly meeting, and that will be at the New Life Church on West Marion in Punta Gorda. Always a good time. Stop by. If you're not a member, stop by, and I'm sure they can get you some information. If you are a member, you know where it is. On the 20th, the following Thursday, 7 p.m., will be the 2-meter Simplex net, 146500, and again, no repeater on that. The time to test your 2-meter capability. And on the 22nd, it looks like, I think talking to Alan, it's 11 to 2 p.m., will be the spring picnic at the Burnt Store Lake. I'm sure more information will follow as we get closer. And any more information you're looking for, you can go to carsfl.org. That's our website, and feel free to peruse and if there's anything of interest to you. And with that, I'll be looking for my next check-in.
Net control. Net control, please check in. Kilo Oscar 4, Quebec Whiskey Sierra, downtown Deep Creek.
Good morning, Paul. How are you? Another Deep Creeker.
Yes, sir. I'm doing pretty good. I'm still working on my POTA package, getting my box ready, getting all my parts organized. So get my battery from Dwayne here pretty soon, and I should be all set and ready to go.
Well, fantastic. Yeah, I've got my battery here. I just trying to figure out a few things, and maybe we'll give it a try one of these days. I haven't had the capability yet, so but definitely give it a shot. I do a lot of hunting, but I like to do an activation also.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun as long as you're out in the woods. It doesn't have to be a park. You can just take a break. And you know, with my rig, it's all going to be in one box, and my antenna will go up and behind my building me a rig for my trailer hitch, so I can just slide the antenna into that, plug it in a box, and turn it on, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, that's what me and Rick were just talking about. We actually picked them up from Amazon. Rick showed it to me, and depending on, like, the spider beam, just by coincidence happens to fit perfectly into this, and we ended up cutting the bottoms off of it, so it would drop right through to the ground, so you get a little bit more stability on that bottom segment. So definitely want to give that a try.
Yeah, well, Chuck takes he takes 2 pipes and welds one to fit into the the slot where your trailer hitch would go in the car, and the other one just it's a 90-degree pipe, and that sits in the ground and in the trailer hitch, and then you slide the spider beam right inside of it. So, for a temporary fix, it'll give you, I think, I've seen them out there at Babcock Ranch, and Ariel had one in the back of her car, and it stays pretty steady for I don't know how much wind it'll hold up, but you're right there to take it down if you have to.
Yeah, that's what's nice about that, and that spider beam. It stays up, but you can drop it pretty quick if you need to.
Yeah, actually, Chuck came out and helped me set up a spider beam with my tri-band antenna that they built at the club. So I'll be using that for the next activation we have on for the net. And actually, I was able to reach a repeater in Sarasota with that antenna, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Absolutely. I heard you mention that the other day, and I actually put one of the Angelos in my attic, and I was very surprised. I was just playing around after I hooked it up, and I actually grabbed somebody up in St. Pete, which surprised me on 2 meters. So yeah, it's definitely a plus. I've got to, when I get some time, I've got to stop over and see Rick and take a look at his setup to see if I want to go with what he has or the spider beam again for a 6 meter.
I stopped over at Rick's house and looked at it. He has both. He doesn't have the spider beam. He has a different brand, I think, but he's got the UHF and the FM antenna alongside his house, and it looks pretty good. You can swing by my place and take a look at mine. I got mine in the backyard right now. It's all hooked up, and it's working pretty good. I'm happy with it. And it's not too intrusive, You can. My wife will say, "Look at that black thing up in the sky" every now and then, but it's behind all the bushes, so as she walks around, she doesn't see it. So if your YL doesn't see it, then it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Which height do you have, Paul, for the spider? I've got the 40-footer.
That's the one that I bought, and it's in the ground about maybe 2 feet, so that brings it down to, I suppose, what would be maybe 39 feet. I'm happy with it, and it holds up well in the wind. It rocks and rolls up there, but it's got enough flexibility, so I don't think it's not going to break.
No, and that's what I mentioned to Norm. I just, again, it's like anything new when you first get it, but I watched it. These winds we had the other day, and it, like you said, it sways, but it's not going anywhere. And I'm thinking about, like I said, I'll take a look at what Rick has, and if not, I'll go with maybe the 23-foot spider beam for my 6 meter. I think at this point anything is better than what I have right now, because I'm just running off that random wire for my 6 meter.
Yeah, well, I'm going to. They also at the club they hooked up a random wire for I think almost all the bands for HF. So I'm going to try that out too. And they had one at the shop set up, and it tuned up to quite a few of the bands, and not just a simple hookup. You put it on the end of the spider beam and set it up in the air, and away you go.
I'll be honest with you, Paul. I had Chuck give me a hand with that when I first got everything set up, and I've got the 35.5 foot, and I made contacts on HF everywhere from 10 meter all the way up to 80 meter. So, and that's voice. On digital, I've gone 6 to 160.
It's just amazing. I've got that 6-speed TV antenna in the back, and I'm trying to think maybe this just random wire antenna might be better than that.
I'm impressed, I'll tell you, because I have friends of mine look at it and go, "You talk to people with that wire?" I said, "I've talked to people in Australia with that wire." So yeah, I can talk to people with that wire.
That's good. See, another reason I called is Ariel is out there for a POTA for a YL activation, but I couldn't find her on the POTA site. Do you happen to know what frequency she's working off of?
NV4H.
Go ahead, Tom.
Matt, Paul, NV4H. Patty's on 10 meters right now, KQ4 Victor Charlie Bravo, and she's on 28330, 28330 upper sideband.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna get off of this there, and I'm gonna give her a call. 28330. What was her call sign again?
Patty's call is Kilo Quebec 4 Victor Charlie Bravo.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good enough. Okay, this is KO4QWS signing off. I'm gonna go over to the HF and see if I can pick up the ladies on the Parks on the Air.
All right, thank you, Paul, and I may take you up on taking a look at what you got, your setup over there, and then if you want to swing by, we can come over here and take a look at the random wire setup I've got here, but I'll reach out to you this week. We're finally getting some slowdown with our contractors at the house, but 73, and good luck with those POTAs, and I'll talk to you again soon. All right, sorry about that delay. I don't know if we had a crossover on the repeater. I was picking somebody up, but this is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for my next check-in, as we say, 73 to Paul, as we approach the 9:30 hour.
Net Control, this is KQ4, Juliet Victor Echo. Ralph, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing well. Very interesting net this morning. I didn't know which subject to pick up on. Whether the dehydrator or the smokers. I'm interested in both of them. Don't have a dehydrator. I don't know whether to go dehydrator or what do you call it? Freeze dried. Now I know freeze dried lasts a lot longer, but what tastes better when you're done? Any ideas?
I'll tell you, I like the dehydrator. I picked up one it's a good unit, and it was not expensive. And to me, it's I will take that over freeze drying. I don't know. I'm just speaking for my personal, but I think you lose some taste with the freeze dryer, where I think the dehydrator actually just concentrates the taste by taking the fluid out.
And that's interesting. I know the freeze dry will last, 50 years, but I'm not going to be around to eat it, so I might go into the dehydrator. Any ideas on a good brand?
Actually, I can send you what I got. If your email over on the car site?
That's affirmative. I'm on there. Right now, I'm also on 28330, and I'm hearing nothing. So my radio might have to be having a problem.
Well, some of it is also I've tried Tom sometimes, and I know it seems odd. It took me a little while to understand it, but sometimes closer isn't always better. I've had trouble getting him when he's in Mayaca or even at Babcock, so.
That makes sense. It's probably skipping right over me. Okay, just curious about that. I tuned in. Motorcycles, took the test here many years ago. I was probably about 50 years old when I took it, so went across the country 1,000 miles south and then over to Bakersfield, California, and it was what an adventure. With my wife on the back, we had a great time.
Oh, fantastic. I heard one of the funniest stories I heard were friends of mine, and they were coming down to Daytona for Bike Week, and one of the guys had just gotten his brand new Harley, and they were riding down, and they stopped in South Carolina, spent a night, and while he was sleeping, a couple of the guys went and got some maple syrup from the kitchen at the restaurant and poured it underneath the bike, so it looked like a huge oil spill in the morning.
Oh, that's not funny. He must have been ticked.
Yeah, I think they didn't get the expression they expected. He was ready to kill somebody until one of them reached down and stuck his finger in it, and he says, "Oh, it tastes like maple oil."
Okay. No, mine's sitting in the garage. I wouldn't take it. As nice as the streets are down here, no frost heaves, no potholes, just too many old people, and I'm getting to be one of them. But they just don't see you anywhere. But down here, it seems to be really bad. Every week down in Naples, there'd be somebody killed on a motorcycle.
Yeah, and we can watch the news here, and I don't think we go more than 2 days without seeing a motorcycle accident either on Kings Highway or 75 or pretty much anywhere. And it just is. I enjoyed it, but it's just not anything for me anymore.
Yeah, mine's sitting in the garage up on a stand up on Cape Cod. I don't know if I'm ever going to register it again. I mean, it's a beauty. It's a beautiful machine. You know, they say you can never have too much chrome on a Harley. This is just a beautiful beast, but I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not be done if I give it to my grandkids.
Yeah, it used to kill me anytime any of my buddies were selling theirs. I'd get that itch, and then no, you don't need it. You need it, but you don't need it.
That's affirmative. I'll take action on getting rid of it this summer when I go back. I just kind of hesitate. Well, maybe I'll feel like doing it. Yeah, I feel like doing it a lot, but am I ever going to? Probably not. So I'll just, this is KQ4, Juliet Victor Echo. I'll say 7-3. You're doing a great job on the night, keeping it interesting, keeping it very mixed up topics, very fascinating. You're doing a good job. Over.
All right, Ralph, and I'll find you over on the website, and I will kick over that information I have. Like I said, you can at least, it's a place to start. I think it's a good dehydrator. I think you'll like it.
Thank you for that.
This is Whiskey 1, Mike Trelli, Oscar. Looking for my next check-in, as we say 73 to Ralph, as we clear the 9:30 hour. Next check-in, please. This is Net Control. I just want to check. Are you guys picking up any interference also?
A3FHV, no interference here.
Okay, I've just got a constant open mic somewhere, and every once in a while I'm picking up conversations. I just want to see if it was just maybe my location.
No, don't hear it up here out in the middle of nowhere out here. Could be local, could be a computer. Some other interference. K3FHP.
Thank you, Dave. And I'll be looking for my next check-in. Next check-in, please.
No interference out here in El Jobin either, Matt, so must be something local to you. KM4JEN, we're clear.
All right, thanks, Alan. Yeah, it's a constant noise behind the frequency when I'm listening and receive, but every once in a while I'm picking up a full conversation. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't interfering with the net. Thank you, sir.
This N3FNN, I'm picking it up as well.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it sounds like a repeater's locked open somewhere, but I just wanted to check. Do we have any other check-ins for the Sunshine Net? As long as you guys can hear me, I can hear you.
K3FHV.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
Well, it can be expected. You know, there are 4 other repeaters in the state on this frequency. So when the conditions are right, like now it's cold, it's no breeze over here anyway. That's ideal for Tropo. So
that could very well be. We're not that far away from one of the SAR repeaters is on our frequency. So if you had a PL on receive on control squelch, you probably wouldn't hear it.
Okay, yeah, like I said, when they're not talking, I'm getting like the repeater's locked open. So it's fine. As long as you guys can hear me, I can hear you. It's just a little bit of background noise.
Okay, but the fact that our repeater tail drops off lets you know that it's not actually coming through our repeater.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm not getting a drop off, so I don't know if it's on. I'm on 70, so I don't know if it's on 2 meter, but it just, after the courtesy tone, it just sounds like it stays open.
Okay, well, right, it is dropping. Whatever the signal coming in is just keeping your receive open. I was say, you have CT, or are you just on tone, or are you on controlled squelch? Because they're on a different PL, so it should not be keeping your squelch open if it's on controlled squelch. Although you will see it on your meter. You will see it on your meter, but the repeater is dropping out. Because if it wasn't, we'd be getting a timeout. Over.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure we weren't having an issue with our system. I can hear you guys, and you can hear me, so that's fine. So what's going on this weekend, Dave, besides NASCAR?
Well, there's a bunch of contests going on. This week starts for those newcomers. Now the old novice roundup, they still have that going, but they don't have novice licenses. So I think they consider anybody a year or two in amateur radio a novice. You got to look up the rules exactly, but that's a week-long thing, the novice roundup, and that starts today. There's at 1800 Zulu, there's a short Marconi International celebration on CW. There's 10 meters contest, and there's a Spanish PSK 31. 63 PSK 63 DX contest on. So that's something to look at. And also this Saturday is considered first Saturday of the month is JS8 activity week, QSO party. So get on there and do stuff. I got a guy in New Zealand last night at about 12 o'clock midnight, and had a nice keyboard-to-keyboard chat with him.
Very nice. Yeah, since you seem to be a night owl every once in a while, I'll have to keep an eye out for you on JSA.
Yeah, what I have a weird patterns here. I always like to watch the old Perry Masons that are on ME, and they're over 12:30, so I 12:30. So I run into the shack and listen and see what's going on. I usually keep the radio on there at night on 20 meters, and all kinds of stuff from all over the world coming in. I was getting heard all over the place according to PSK Reporter, but I answered the New Zealand guy and sent him a report, got a report back, got his rig, asked him for his rig report. And after I did that a couple of times, he came on the keyboard himself. So sometimes that's what you have to do to wake folks up. So it was fun, and that's what's great about that mode. Anyway, there's stuff going on, and looks like it's going to be a beautiful Chamber of Commerce day anyway. K3FHP.
Absolutely. That seems to be my night, too. Usually a little Perry Mason, and I wait to see what the Twilight Zone is going to be, if it's going to be anything interesting. You know, you've seen every one of them 1,000 times, but every once in a while there's an interesting one.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe with you all the time you forget it. Or it looks familiar, but you forget what happened, so you have to watch it to the end. The only important part to watch really is the last 15 minutes when he gets him in court and makes him confess.
Yeah, the nice thing about that show is that we've talked about it before is there's no huge, the shows nowadays, they make the courtrooms look so foolish, where it was kind of realistic in that during his show.
Yeah, the only thing non-realistic is when that DA keeps saying, "Well, I'm interested in the truth. I'm not just out to convict somebody. I want to find the truth." And of course, I don't think that's going on much anymore.
Oh, absolutely not. That's the only fiction in that one. But the cases are always interesting, and there's minimal violence. They do what they have to do to get you interested in the case, but it's more about it's just funny watching that whole setup with them.
Yeah, it's more procedural rather than I'd say they might show kind of a body laying there, but it's not blood and guts. It's all interaction, and of course they've had it was on for like 7, 8 years, 9 years. It's a great ensemble cast of actors in there, so that helps too. But the other thing that gets me all the time, which I know would never really, is not supposed to really happen, is lots of times. Well, I guess that may have been in an earlier time without the same laws as deposition, but now the lawyer shouldn't be asking a question he doesn't know the answer to, and lots of times apparently. The way it looks, he doesn't depose all those people. Some of them, he just drags them into court, has a detective go out and find them and drag them to court, whereas normally they'd be all upset because both sides have to have a chance to depose them.
Yeah, I always laughed at that and the fact that the detective apparently works 24 hours a day because they always know how to reach him by dialing the police department.
Well, a lot of these big law firms, I'm sure, they may be listed as private, but they're essentially, even today, a lot of those offices have their own detectives within the office, researchers and detectives that do that, or it may even have a subsidiary company that's supposedly a detective agency, but it's really all under their company. And it doesn't look like with one lawyer you wouldn't have the business for that, but every once in a while you catch a hint of him working on another case for somebody else at the time. But if the pay's good enough, he can just leave it to Perry Mason to keep you busy.
Oh yeah, business must be good for Perry because he's got some great cars.
Yeah, and every once in a while you see he has a lot of other operatives besides just himself. And in reality, if you were the head guy, you wouldn't be doing a lot of that yourself. You'd be having all the stuff done by operatives.
Absolutely, but it's a good show. It's it's entertaining. I didn't watch a lot of it when I was younger, so it's nice to catch them now. So it's definitely something that kills some time before bedtime.
Yeah, very good. Well, that's all I got for the moment. It just looks so pretty out there. So, looking down the canal of Jim Long Lake, and the waterfowl are out there. So, we'll say 7-3, and remember, everybody, get on the air. K3FHP.
All right, Dave, 73 to you also, and have a great weekend, and I'll be catching some NASCAR also. So we'll talk to you again soon. Appreciate it. This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for my next check-in. Next check-in, please.
Net Control, Kilo Golf 5, Romeo Victor Whiskey.
All right, Don, I know it's you. I was just checking something on my phone. Can I get just the suffix?
So, Golf 5, Romeo Victor Whiskey. Really very wise.
I should have that memorized, Don. I apologize, but how are you, sir?
That's okay. There's still a lot of call signs that confuse me on the radio, and no matter how many times I hear them, I still mess them up. Doing good this morning. Here at my Saturday morning station at the museum. Got here a good time. Got things set up. It seems I'm getting better at getting things set up here.
Fantastic. Hopefully you get a good crowds today. The weather's nice, so may get them out. I know there's the schools are starting their breaks again, so hopefully the museum and ham radio section of it will be kept busy.
Well, it depends. Trying to find. Oh, I don't have my thing from last week. Last week we didn't have quite as many folks. I think maybe about just a bit under 20. But there's been some weeks we get up in the high 20s. It varies. So we just have to wait and see.
Absolutely, but hopefully they'll keep you busy today.
Well, if not, I've got my cohort in crime is back from his several-week vacation. Whiskey 9, November Whiskey Yankee. He's back in operation again.
Fantastic. Hope you had a good time on vacation.
Well, he might have. The nurses may not have.
I gotcha.
All right, Matt. Well, thanks for taking care of the net this morning. Hopefully, folks will find a chance to come over to W4DUX and say good morning to us when we get on the air. We'll be here from 10 to 2 and monitor it. And if we got some young folks, we need people out there in Radio Land to talk to them. So I'll turn it back to you, Matt. This is KG5 RVW Clear.
Thanks, Don, 73. And Don is our voice on Wednesdays on the Sunshine Net. And I'm not sure if you're doing the Peace River Sunset tomorrow or not, but that's always a good net on Sunday nights. With that, this is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for my next check-in.
Net control. This is KO4SPC.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to be back in town. I was away 3 weekends in a row, so this is my first Saturday here in a month, so I'm happy to be back in Punta Gorda and not going any more trips for a couple of months.
Well, that's great, and we even got some nice weather for you while you were gone.
Yeah, and I was in bad weather. I was in Pennsylvania for a weekend. I was in Virginia right after the snowstorm that they had 2 weekends ago, and then this last week I was in St. Petersburg, and that was nice. So 2 out of 3 wasn't bad, and I am glad to be back in this weather and be permanent here for quite a while.
Fantastic. Yep, always good to get home.
Yeah, and I had a good time while I was gone. All 3 events were worthwhile, so I'm glad. It was a good time.
Fantastic. Yeah, you don't mind some of the inconvenience when you're going to something good and you enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and in Pennsylvania, I haven't been up there in 3, 4, 5, 6 years, so I got the whole treatment. I got the 20-degree weather, I got the snow, I got the sleet, I got the rain, and the ice.
Well, that's a heck of a welcome. Makes you really appreciate where you are now.
Yes, and I vowed not to go back there for another 6 years, unless it's an absolute necessity. So I got my taste of weather. Now it gets down to 40s here. I will not be complaining one bit about the cool weather down here.
Absolutely. We went back to Connecticut in December, and we did the same thing. It's, you know, it was nice to get back.
Yeah, so I was on, I heard earlier that a couple of our members are up at the state park, up Mayaca State Park, and I looked them up, and I could not reach any of them. It was silent. I had Ariel. I looked her up on Parks in the Air and her frequency, and I'm not getting anything out of hers or out of Patty on 10 meters.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to try it. Once the net's done, I'll tune up the other radio and take a listen. But occasionally I'll get Tom when he does the closer parks, but it's just, you know, I think our signals go right over them sometimes.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes. And some areas, even in the park, have a plus to it versus another area in the park. So anyhow, I did give it a try. Didn't make any contact. So anyhow, I'm going to sign off. It's good to hear you guys again. I'm glad to be back in the area, back on the air. So this is KO4SPC. I'll be clear.
Well, 73 Steve, and welcome back. And enjoy your weekend. This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for my next check-in on the Sunshine Net.
Recheck-in, 3FNN.
Go ahead, recheck.
I just reached them. They were on 28330, and I had a loud signal, no problem.
Okay, we'll give it a shot, and I'm sure anybody listening will give it a shot. And we'll try. I remember when we did the POTA when you guys did it for the club, I was able to get one person. So again, like Steve said, I think it's just location, but we'll see what happens. But thank you for that.
You're welcome. And 3FNN clear.
This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, looking for my next check-in. Okay, we're going to make this last call for check-ins. Last call for check-ins on the Saturday Sunshine Net. Last and final call for check-ins. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Hearing no other check-ins, this is the Sunshine Net Control, Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, closing the Sunshine Net and returning to repeat it in normal amateur use. As a reminder for you astrology people, there will be a full lunar eclipse next Friday night into Saturday morning. Unfortunately, it's going to be about 2:30 in the morning, but it'll be lasting about 65 minutes. So if you can't sleep and you're up, take a look at the lunar eclipse. This is Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Oscar, saying 73 and clear at 9:54 hours.
Okay.
Oscar 3GF.